Let's jump into this one, Brian. Jordyn Tyson, Arizona State.
Allen, Texas, by the way.
Okay.
Young man from Allen.
Wide receiver. Brian, you know, me and you've been breaking down wide receivers all week. We're going to break down wide receivers a little bit more because there's a lot of them that's in this first 3 rounds or so.
Yeah.
But this is my number one guy.
Yeah.
This is my number one guy. And we often talk about preferences and things that we like in some of these players. And what we've kind of talked about with everybody else, if you smush them all together into one dude, Tyson doesn't have the height as some of these other guys, but Tyson got all the other football stuff that these dudes have. I wrote right here, I would love to show you. It says, man, what a smooth route runner he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that kind of puts
fluidity to his game.
Very fluid, very smooth. That's the one thing that puts me over the edge with him is that he has more size and more physical ability, but he also can get open on his own. That means a ton to me. Beats press, Brian. Yes. Brian, they try to press him up on the line of scrimmage. He has so many ways to get off press coverage. A lot of these, younger wide receivers, they don't always get the nuance, right? He's fighting with the hands. He's using the routes, or just the coach just put him in motion, get off press. Great hands, ball tracking. He tracks the ball like a fool, Brian Bryce. He gets downfield, medium of the field, short of the field, whatever you want to do is cool. Sometimes they'll just get it to him on a little bubble situation, like, hey man, go save us, and then he turns in the yak guy and saves the hell out of him, Brian. A ton of big plays, Brian. I love a wide receiver that can make big plays with the ball in the air, or we just kind of get it to you and he can make a big play on his own. I love that. I put yak guy 3 times, Brian.
Yeah.
I put yak guy 3 times, bro. All the stuff I like in a wide receiver, this dude's got it all in his report, Brian. Just deep ball downfield lineup, inside and outside, Brian, depending on what the defense is doing to him. I saw some weird stuff. I forgot what game I was watching. I saw some weird stuff where some team tried to travel with him. And they just did a whole bunch of pre-motion. And then he found a way to end up on some dude that he's much better than and just ended up beating the hell out of him. He's one of those smart receivers to where, we often see, wide receivers overrun zones sometimes. He sits down in the hole. I think he's very quarterback friendly. Yeah. He has this quarterback friendly thing where he shows his numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's very Jackson and Jigba of him, Brian. Very. You know what I'm saying? Sit down in these zones. Hey, I'm open. Clap, boom, get the ball, and he'll go be a yak guy again. Brian, I think he's fantastic. I think he runs with a good bit of physicality, and he's fast as well, Brian. I would love to know what he actually ends up running. But he's my wide receiver 1. Jordyn Tyson is a dude. I like him a whole bunch, Brian.
Yeah, started his career at Colorado and actually has a brother that plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team. So he comes from an athletic family, if you want.
So is he one of the Deion guys, or is he like he was with Prime and then he transferred? I'm not thinking he was at Jackson State and he wasn't one of those, much like what Hunter was. I think this was straight from Allen High School to Colorado. That's interesting. And then he's on his way to Arizona State. This is the closest player I've seen in a long time that reminds me of George Pickens. This reminds me, the way this kid plays reminds me of George Pickens. And I know very early in the process, he was one of the first guys that I watched. And there was some talk about, would you trade George Pickens? Would you move on from George Pickens? And in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm just looking at George Pickens right here in the draft. Sure. You don't want to pay George Pickens $35 million? This is Jordyn Tyson. I think that he's got that kind of ability. VOCH, you're right. He's going to make plays all over the field. He's going to track it, and he's a clutch player. He can go high. He can go low. It doesn't matter. He runs very angry with the ball in hand, and you see him afterwards. When he's catching that, he's getting up the field, and he's going to try and make some things happen there. You can line him up in the slot. You can line him up in the boundary. You can line him up out wide. He's going to thrive. I agree with you. I think he's a very savvy route runner. I think he's a contested catch machine. I think he plays with toughness. There's an injury history you have to look at, though, with this young man. He had a knee in 2022 and a collarbone in 2024 that needs to be checked. But, boy, this guy is a real treat to watch play the position. Man, Brian, I got a 1 on him. I got him over Lemon. I just think he's physically a little better than Lemon, and I think the route running's right there. Yeah. As far as Tyson, as far as Tate, I think he's a lot more versatile than Tate.
And we'll get to Boston at some point, Brian. But yeah, he's clearly. You think he'll be drafted like top 5 or so, top 8 or so?
You know what? Depending on how people feel about Tate, it's funny because I know right now media scouts, they're thinking about Tate is who they're thinking about, the Ohio State wide receiver. They're thinking about him over. I think media scouts. I've seen this guy as the first one.
Sure.
I've also seen him way down the list too. I don't think people have a real handle for him on the media side of it. I think the NFL scouts will have him probably in the top 10. I would not be surprised one bit if he's the first receiver taken off the board. And now we need to see about the knee situation in 2022 and the collarbone and how that all. But man, when you watch him play, he plays like he should be the first receiver taken off the board. Just his ability to make plays all over the field. I am a fan of Lemon. I've got 2 first-round wide receivers. Tyson would be the first one, and then Lemon would be the second one, and then Tate I have in the second. But then again, we're probably talking about 15, 16, 17 first-round grades. Tate and those guys will be probably in that 18, 19 range as well. So it's a very, very. I think it's an interesting group. But like I said, if you want to see a player that reminds you, as if you're a Cowboy fan watching this, you know how George Pickens played this year. When you watch this kid, tell me in the comments if you feel like I'm wrong about that.
Brian, I think one thing we had to figure out, Ty Simpson, the quarterback from Alabama.
Yeah.
He just decided that he wants to go be drafted this year. Hey, y'all, come put me in the draft process, right? I think we need to figure him out because we drafted at 12. One thing that Cowboy fans will love is that if he's in any of those top 11 picks or so, so just so we can have another quarterback to kind of bump guys down. I'm not watching quarterbacks until April. If the draft is like April 28 or something, I'll watch them on April 15. I'll watch all the quarterbacks at one time. But what I need is for Ty Simpson to really get up there. To really bump those guys down. Him being up there and for Jerry Jones to have a great free agency so that if you're in this situation where the Cowboys decide that they're going to tag Pickens and he's going to be with you for just 1 year, I would love it if Jordyn Tyson is available for you. You know what I'm saying? To just have him as all right, when Pickens leaves and you step up and be wide receiver too. That'd be fantastic if the Cowboys could pull that off. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge.